Morris, in an earlier video, which people can link to here, you were talking about this smuggling situation, and I understand that there was also some additional things on the boat besides the illegal aliens that we talked about earlier. Bring us up to date on how that all turned out.
Yeah, and once they pull the boat over and they recognize there's an issue, they have what's known as the right to search the boat, search incident to arrest, probable cause to search the boat. They were taking the boat into custody, so they have another way to search the boat as an inventory. They're taking inventory as the boat. So as they're taking inventory or searching incident to arrest, they located 40 pounds of marijuana. Now, if you are in state court in Florida and you're found in possession of 40 pounds of marijuana, that would be known as marijuana trafficking. If you're over 25 pounds, that's the threshold. It then becomes marijuana trafficking. And if you're over 20 grams, it becomes a felony. So the way it works in the state court, if you have over 20 grams, it's a third-degree felony, maximum punishment 5 years. If it's trafficking, at that point it becomes a second-degree felony. Over 25 years, maximum penalty would be 15 years. And there's minimum mandatories for drug trafficking of 3 years in that circumstance. And it goes up as different narcotics or different weights. Now in federal court, it's a little bit different. Depends on how it's charged. And if they charge as an importation, and you came in operating a plane or a boat or some sort of skilled way to come in, which obviously if you're importing it basically any other way than through the mail, if you're physically bringing it, they can get you on a special enhancement. Now the enhancement says that if you have 40 pounds of marijuana, where normally the level would be a level 14, and they have levels in federal court. That's the way it works. Now level 14, someone may look at time of probably 3 or 4 years maximum in the sentencing guidelines, but because of the importation aspect, then there's an enhancement. And when you read carefully, it says that you increase it to 2 levels. Now, normally 2 levels wouldn't be that much of a difference. Maybe, from a level 14 to a level 16, you're talking about an increase of your guidelines of a year, 18 months. But this says, or to level 26. Now, 14 to 26, that's 12 levels. And in this particular circumstance, it changed it from a case where he was looking at 3 or 4 years to a case where he was looking at 8 to 11. And that was a significant difference. So, in that circumstance, in my case, myself and the prosecutor had negotiated a range that was much lower. So we both agreed that enhancement should not apply, and it did not apply. But if you're someone who's in the business of importation of marijuana or cocaine or oxycodone or any drugs, you have to be aware of the enhancements. And in this case, it can significantly affect how much time you're looking at. So, when analyzing a federal case as opposed to analyzing a state case, there are many different laws, rules. The federal code is much denser and much more difficult to understand than the state, which is relatively straightforward. So, if you're involved in that kind of case, it's important to have someone who's reviewed the code before and is familiar with the levels and the guidelines and the possibilities and, creative ways to find your way around them.
Okay. It makes total sense to me. So if you're involved in it, sounds like they're looking at more like an organized effort to bring in product or to traffic in product as opposed to somebody who's working the neighborhood. Even if they had that much stuff on them in the neighborhood, they may not be that organized. Is that kind of what we're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, it breaks it up and it basically says that, if someone is, has a specific license, like a pilot's license or has special training, and then comes in on a vessel. And the vessel is very broad. Vessel has been shown to be, pretty much a pontoon boat up to, the biggest yacht you could think of, or, and, it's something that, someone who isn't even maybe thinks of themselves as coming in on, a big importation vessel could still be looking at the same amount of time.
Right. Okay. All right. Got it. All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Be careful out there.